question. While I was in the secondary school, my final year precisely, I had two options, either mass communication or agriculture. And my agric science teacher took a very deep interest in me and said, fine, you'll be good for agriculture. And I enrolled into the Federal College of Agriculture, Akure, where I've been privileged to be the provost now. When I was 16 years old, even as an awaiting result candidate, I think I've already packed my load and resumed the college, and I've been given admission provisionally. And the moment our result came out, and then I started. Since then, I've been here in the college. I've been in Akure. I've been in the Federal College of Agriculture, Akure. So I'm like what they call me, my colleagues call me Akure local, because I school in Federal College of Agriculture, Akure. I served there, and I now work there.
That sounds quite profound.
Yeah.
But at the point that you showed interest in agriculture,
Yeah.
I'm very sure that there must have been several opposition to that kind of trade at that time, profession at that time.
Yeah.
So, would you mind sharing with us the kind of opposition you had at that time?
Yes, because I'll give you an example. My dad told me that you're very smart. You should be a doctor or this. We've been going to farm together. If it's agriculture, don't go and learn it. Learn it from me. And I said, no, let me try it the modern way. And something happened to me about 5 years ago. I used to own a consultancy firm before I became the provost. And my trade is selling cassava stem. And my dad called me and I said, you don't have a PhD. And the report coming to me is that you are still selling cassava stem. Why do you go for PhD when you know you'll be selling cassava stem? I said, fine. And I had this order from the southeast, 2 trailer load of cassava stem. And I said, fine, go and park in the front of my dad's house. And my dad came and said, what's this? I said, cassava stem. I said, no, I now understand what you're doing. This is good. So I think I'm now a success, a face of agriculture. And so many young people around Africa, look up to me as their motivation into wanting to make a living, decent living in agriculture.
Now, still very closely related to the issue of opposition that you had when you were growing up. Yeah. Let's talk about the challenges that you faced at the time that you now concluded that, yes, this is what you want to do. Let's talk about the challenges that you faced, even as a young person.
Okay. I think the challenge is about the lifestyle of our colleagues who opted then for other trade, of somebody who is working in the bank and somebody who is working with a very good accounting firm. When I finished my ND in 1986 at this from our college, then I got a job and as extension agent in Ogun State Agri Development Program. I was posted to a village, and instead of living in town, I packed my belongings and live in the village. And a lot of negative comments from fellow young people. You are now in the village. What are you doing? This and that. So I think apart from challenges faced by parents who then, because permit me, they all want be a adajo, be a lawyer. Then you have to be a judge, a lawyer, or this, because before people are really proud of you. So it was challenging to prove ourselves that we can make it in agriculture. And one of the problems of agriculture is that we don't have good role model. We don't have successful farmers like they have in Europe and America. So farming is like, a way of life. Agriculture is like culture that you don't even need a license to practice. So why do you want to pursue a career in where everybody can go and do it? And it's just a problem today, because when you advise farmers and say, fine, they said, this is what we've been doing, what is new? And it's good that some of us are making a very good living out of it, and we are succeeding, and we are also producing successful farmers, because if there are no successful farmers, no young man will attempt agriculture.
Yeah, I'm sure that we'll still get to talk about the successes that you've been able to make as an administrator in that particular field. Mm-hmm. But I'm still interested in knowing the kind of influence, the training that you got in agriculture how that helps, because of course there's a place of passion, there's a place of the knowledge that you acquire in helping to shape that passion. So how would you say that the training that you acquired helped the passion for agriculture that you had as a young person?
I think I got first-class training in agriculture. And I told you earlier that I started my career from the prestigious School of Agriculture, Akure, where you now call Federal College of Agriculture, Akure. And I want to tell you that if you are in this country, or you are in West Africa and Southern Africa, and you are making a trend, or you are doing something good in agriculture, probably it's possible, and we're able to trace your footsteps back to the prestigious School of Agriculture, Akure. We got a training in agricultural technology, a training that enabled us to practice agriculture with results. And that impacted on my earlier successes. And I got my first job in ADP Ogun State. And during the interview, probably the project manager, head of extension, all of them had their roots from College of Agriculture, Akure, and they made an announcement that if you are from Federal College of Agriculture, Akure, no interview, go and get your letter of appointment.
That sounds interesting.
Yes, and then if you are from other colleges, go and face your interview.
Is that a nepotism?
Yes. No, it's not. It's not. It's not, because they've been through the training, they've been part of the college, they've been there, and it's like you go for an interview and you're from Cambridge or you're from Harvard, some employer will have preference for you. Even till today, employers want to take our students even before graduation. And it's like people scramble for a candidate. And if you have such products and you still want to subject them to rigorous interview, they will leave your job. That is it. It's a culture that we have known for all over the world. As I sit here, I have requests from employers who want to even take away my students before graduation. I say, hold on, they are still in school.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about. You said people call you the Akure local. Now I'm interested in why you chose to stay back in Akure. Well, over 30 years, and you have made a success of that. But before we talk about the success you have made by that decision, why that decision of staying back in Akure, when I'm sure you must have had opportunities to go elsewhere?
Okay. I finished my youth corps, NYC, in Federal College of Agriculture in 1989, and we were 11 youth corpers. And the day we had to leave as corpers, the provost, principal then called me and said, Dr. Odedino, you ain't going nowhere. Start your job next day, 1 out of the 11. And then I already secured a job with Ogun State ADP, where I did my
internship.
Then 1 year internship. And Michelin Plantation, I remember Rubber Estate, already offered to pay me 3,500 naira per month, so that I won't stay in College of Agriculture Akure for 400 naira.
That's big.
For 400 naira. You understand? So I was like in the middle of, what do I do? And I said, and the provost called me, principal called me, so he said, Mr. Odedino, don't you have a future here? You're one of the people that I think can develop this place in future. Stay and take this 500 naira per month, 400 naira per month. Then you can improve yourself. You can go for your PhD. And then Michelin Plantation persisted and made me a management trainee staff. Just somebody that's just coming out of school with HND. And then the principal immediately enrolled me for a course abroad. He said, okay, fine. You are going to Wolverhampton University to do postgraduate diploma in agricultural education. I was sure then he's to just probably prevent me from taking that job. And from that time to today, I've worked in the college in such a way that our name will be projected, and we have a face to agriculture and a face to Federal College of Agriculture, Akure. And was my first love, my first college. When people say, Great Ife, great UI, great, I said, Great Feka.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Great Feka. And I've been to universities all over the world. and all over Africa. And I've not seen a place that can match our college in terms of resourcefulness, natural environment, and congregation of experts in agriculture. I love the place, and I like the town.
So at the time that you joined, did you have any inkling that one day, or perhaps, let me put it this way, did you have any aspiration to say that one day you want to head this institution?
Not at all. I even wanted to stay in the farm. And then, because I had HND, I was an agri-technologist. I wanted to stay in the farm. I had ambition of replanting the plantations, which I did as head of tree crops, and actually help provost and principals. And it was one of my principals that called me and said, Mr. Dedino, then fine. You very good material. No, go back to school. And then the school sponsored me for my PGD, PGC, MSc, PhD, and all over the world. So that one day, people were looking at me then as somebody who could lead. And then I was like trying to contribute my quota to help other people who were leading. And at the time, I found myself helping provosts, getting close to 2-3 provosts. And I said, fine, wow, there are things I can do if I find myself in this position. And when the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Akandishino, who interviewed me personally, then looked at my CV and said, Dr. Dedino, with all this you have done, why do you still want to be the provost of College of Agriculture? And I said, first and foremost, it's a prestigious position. I want to occupy it.
That's an honest opinion.
Yes. And then 2, I want to contribute my own quota to face of agriculture. And I want to present myself as role model to young people, especially people who choose to attend our college. People, because we work with JAM. And there are some young people today, they go to JAM, first choice, Federal College of Agriculture, Akure. Second choice, Federal College of Agriculture, Akure. Third choice, Federal College. I said, I want to give them hope that by coming to us, then there's no limit to what they can achieve in life. And I happen to be the first alumnus since 1957 to occupy this position. And I also want to contribute my quota to discriminative funding of tertiary agricultural education in Nigeria, to prove to the world that agriculture are colleges where we have OND and HND. We are similar to polytechnics. It's just that we are specialized, so that we can have attention from government, from stakeholders, and honor those young people who on their own chose agriculture. Because when I came in as provost, I met 220 students, and now we are close to 1,000. They are doing that because of our examples. And we need to prove to those young people that we are successful. And if they choose to follow our path, they will also be successful in life.
Yeah, we'll get to talk more about what you have been able to do, how you have been able to use your passion to drive success in that institution after this break.
Yeah.
And still, guest of the week will be right after this break. You're welcome back. I've been hosting the provost of the Federal College of Agriculture, Akure, Dr. Adeola Odedino. Now, let's get to talk about your strides in FECA. About 3-4 years ago, if you drive through FECA, you wonder what was actually happening in that place, because it looked dormant. There were times there were stories about armed robbery at hostels, and so many untoward news coming from FECA. But I'm sure that if you drive through FECA now, you don't need to be told that something is actually happening here. What's happened?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, actually prepare for this job. At the time of dropping my application for the post of provost of Federal College of Agriculture, I submitted with my 5-year plan of what I will achieve in 5 years. And I want to tell you, without any fear of contradiction, that this is my 4th year. We're done with our plan. We've achieved the target we set for ourselves for 5 years in 4 years.
How possible is that?
Yeah, because when I came in, the first thing I did was to negotiate my plan with my colleagues. And they keyed into it, and we from different work groups and committees. And let me also tell you my experience at the interview. because I went to the interview panel with my plan, and the head of the panel then took away the plan from me. He didn't give me that. He gave it to the agency that's supposed to supervise me. I said, watch this guy. So, first and foremost, we work hard to redeem our image, and we made ourselves relevant to